Hello, everybody. This is Preston Polter here with Pocket Jacks Comics, and today I am joined by Jeff Brandt. Right?
That's right.
Brandt. Okay. And I put a link in the description for your comic book, Killer Bad.
That's right.
When I saw it yesterday, it was like, all right. So it launched. How long has it been up?
I launched it like
day, or...
1 a.m. on Monday morning, so
Okay.
it's less than 2 days now.
All right. And when I was looking at it, it was crossing over 1,000, which
Yes.
is not bad. Your goal was like 6.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
To print the first issue.
Right. And how's it doing now?
It's good. We've got a $300 commission level that we lost one of those. So we went back down to $1,000 from 1,300. Now we've climbed back up to like 1,380 or so. So we've made it back in slow accumulation of people actually buying the comic, which is good. It's more backers. I think we're approaching 50 backers now.
Okay. Awesome.
On day 2. So
all right. So yeah, and let me see if I can find the cover to share with people, or do you have the image?
Sure. Well, if you go to killerbad.com,
hold on, no problem.
I'm able to throw it up.
Now.
Okay, I can probably do it from my phone. Yeah, if you go to killerbad.com.
Okay, I can do that right now.
That takes you to the Kickstarter, and there's we've got 2 covers on there.
Oops, that was the wrong window. All right, so let me share my screen. Here we go. Share. Killer Badge. Okay, here at 1309. That's a nice looking graphic.
Yeah, that's our 501 Jeans Levi's commercial.
This is my automatic plug-in. I didn't pull this up; it just automatic. So, according to Backer Tracker, you will finish at $7,100. Congratulations!
Oh. Right over the wire.
Right over, yeah. This is predicting you're going to cross. Let's see. You campaign is going to end around 8:30. This is predicting you're going to cross here around 8. You're gonna hit your goal around 8:25. We'll see how the computer does. So.
All right. Hopefully, I'll pray to the AI gods tonight.
Exactly. So that's got to feel good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now what I love is just boobs. Just boom, there they are.
Yes, with a robot's head nestled between them.
I just been screening that out, but yeah, you're right. They're robot boobs. Okay, cool. So, all right, we got robots, and this must be the hero because he looks heroic.
Yeah, that's our protagonist, we'll say. So, the premise is it's Friday the 13th meets the boys, where it's an elite team. It's with like kind of a 90s attitude and look. So it's an X-Force or the boys like team going to pick to get a MacGuffin, a powerful artifact, and then they start getting murdered in terrible ways by a super slasher serial killer on the island. So
is she on the team?
She is. That's Molly X. Her powers are to make you dumb and horny and then turn you into a supervillain. So she's
got it.
So on this kind of like team of outlaws, rogue agents, she's like the Professor X, but she's a sexy scientist supreme.
But she's the Professor X of supervillains.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's assembling like a bad person team.
Well, they're like kind of although they were heroic at the time, X-Force say they were originally imagined and so often depicted as like mutant terrorists, even though that was like a misconception by the good guys basically. But Cable was arguably presented as a bad guy at first. So they're and the boys
Punisher was introduced as a villain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's that idea of they have questionable motives. They're just
for that matter. So was Darth Vader, but he's got his own comic now, and it's all cool. And people can forgive the fact that you were evil at one point. And these days, in the age of moral relativism, what is evil?
Sure. Well, these guys, it's very much that kind of '90s idea of the the dark hero, where he's not necessarily a good guy.
So what's the protagonist name?
War Wound. So they all
War
have
Wound.
yeah
Okay.
90s names. War Wound, Death Cheater.
Uh,
There's Ice Baby, who is a Nordic ninja with ice powers. Who we say she steals your lyrics and then freezes your heart. So she'll make like ice blades and stuff. So there's definitely kind of a humor and reference to a
all
certain
right.
style of books.
So is War Wound and Molly X, are they on the same team?
Yes, they are.
So it's a bad team. A killer bad team.
Yeah. It's a team of outlaws. Like the
Okay.
idea that of like what are superheroes? Like what are they
Right.
really doing? Like how often are they actually helping people? So it's just a world of kind of like The Boys, where there's these there's superheroes in the world, and whether they are good operators or bad operators is more an aspect of media spin than anything else.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
and so they're kind of, and it kind of has that slasher flick idea of
Right.
characterization where a lot of them are kind of assholes that you look forward to seeing how they die, except
Yeah.
for in a superhero comic, instead of just, machetes through your heart or into your head or
Right.
whatever, it has
Right.
to be a lot more explosive and disgusting.
Awesome. All right. So who are they opposing?
Well, they're out
Robots. I
there.
see robots.
Yeah, they're fighting. They've gone to an island to get
Right.
a powerful artifact to retrieve it. After it, there's an arcade-like villain who operates. He's called Mastermind Jeopardy, who's operated this Death Island. Who just stroked out at the keyboards a couple weeks ago. So they know he
Mhm.
has this powerful entity. So they're just going to get it. They've been assigned to go get this artifact for the powers that be. One of which who is like looking menacingly with goat eyes in the back of that cover there.
Okay. All right. So what is the emotional hook for your story?
Uh, there's not much of one of an emotional hook. It is
I mean,
about
I'm seeing boobs. I mean,
and it's about people
and
get
I
it's
definitely
about
get emotional about
superheroes
those,
being
but
murdered in terrible ways. And so and it doesn't, I guess it doesn't really have like the that kind of 80s moral hook of, okay, if you have sex or drugs then you get murdered by the slasher guy.
okay.
um this comes from more of a dead inside serial killer mind of, oh, there are super people on this island and now I kill them.
Okay.
But okay, well, here's the moral hook of the overall series. So
Right.
it's imagined as three issues, all with a done in one story. Um,
Mhm.
Originally inspired by, like a lot of this stuff is obviously inspired by 90s image stuff, and kind of
Mhm.
plot wise, it's I'd say Alan Moore's 1963, where it was a series of done in ones
Mhm.
that each kind of interconnected and told the story over from 1963, I think, to the present.
Okay.
And we do something similar where it's going to be 3 episodes, each representing like a different horror genre mixed with superheroes that tells the story 30 years later. So this is issue 1. It's a slasher movie. Issue 2 is more of a revenge story that comes out of
Mhm.
this issue 1, kind of like a 70s revenge movie story. And then also lots of blood, lots of murder. And then issue 3 is like the gothic romantic book, more in the vein of maybe a Spawn, where you figure out, you get to learn everything that's been happening in these kind of more high octane issues of 1 and 2, and then you get to see everything kind of explained and the man behind the curtain revealed, or woman as it may be.
Okay. So got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. And so then the hook is revenge story and redemption, but that's over the first 3 issues. This first one is pretty simple slasher flick, superheroes
Okay.
getting murdered. Whoever survives will kind of provide the plot and premise for issue 2.
Okay. So superheroes being War Wound's teammates kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's the Squad 6 you're seeing in that picture there. We've
Okay.
got Haxor. We've got Gigantic. He's the little person who turns into a very big Hulk-like person. In the back with the knife, we've got Death Cheater, who
Mhm.
immediately has on a chip on his shoulder with War Wound, who's the rookie of the group. There's Ice Baby. She's the Dutch ninja sitting on the chair next to Haxor, the computer dude. And in the back, we've got like he's probably the one without questionable morals, kind of the generic, quarterback of the football team, handsome guy
Okay.
who is their ostensible leader, although there is the kind of mysterious mission command where Molly X and the Goat-Eyed guys work, who kind of like actually pull all the shots, whereas break speed there, the speedster with the blue and yellow kind of cyclopsy looking. Cyclops meets Dark Hawk once he puts that helmet on.
So some of these guys are gonna start dying, is what you're saying. In issue 1, if I buy issue 1, I read it. At the end of issue 1, not all of these people will have survived.
Right, and
Okay.
there is a final girl, quote unquote. So
Okay.
most of these people will not survive, no matter what their powers are.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Hardcore.
It's a bloodbath, and
Okay.
you see as you scroll down, you kind of see our preview, which is
Hold
the
on. Let's
first
take a look here.
6 or so pages where we kind of set up all the dominoes, and immediately after this awesome jump out of the plane moment, the blood hits the fan.
Okay. All right. Neat. So this is your first book.
It's my first book on Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
I have a book out from Oni Press from 2015 with Dennis Culver and Ramon Villalobos called Odd Schnoz and the Odd Squad. It was a sci-fi punk rock book where it was teens in a punk band in Plano, Texas, which is where I'm from originally.
Oh, neat.
Have kind of sci-fi adventures, and I was in a rock band at the time, so we made a soundtrack that went with it, and you can still listen to that on Bandcamp and stuff like that. And then over the years, I've been in heavy metal, lots of anthologies. I was in that last Megadeth anthology, which is really kick-ass, with Jason Gongor, the same artist we're looking at now.
Cool.
And then we started making this shortly after that.
Okay. So this is your first self-publish, to address.
Not exactly. So
No,
I said I was in a
okay.
rock band. We were in a
Yes.
band called a sci-fi rock band called Americans UK. We played in Austin, Texas, and Brooklyn, and all over New York for about 15 years, mostly in New York. And I self-published the sci-fi adventures of that band. Those were my first comic books, and those I self-published and took to shows and did the whole.
Oh, neat. Okay.
I did about 200 pages of those. Sold a bunch online. There's a 5th issue we've like 2 or 3 pages of art that's never come out. So I'm really testing the waters with Kickstarter here for myself.
Based on Backer Tracker, it's going to bring in $7,000 for you.
Yeah, that'll be great.
I mean, is that good? I mean, your goal is 6.
Yeah, that gets the book printed and into everyone's hands.
Okay.
The $6,000 honestly represents
because like I'm just watching the comments right now. There's a lot of talk. Like the indie comic people are the biggest bunch of gossip hounds I've ever seen.
Okay.
So right now there's these rival gangs, and there's the Kickstarter gang, of which I'm a very proud member, and then there's the Indiegogo gang.
Okay.
So there are people watching this right now who, in fact, one may have left a comment like, "You should be on Indiegogo."
I would love to. I want to go to Indiegogo with exclusive covers and all that after this campaign.
All right, cool. Well, there you go.
For sure.
Now, from what I've noticed, I'm not a big IGG. Well, all right. All right. The thing I like about Indiegogo is when the person pledges, there's not a follow-up step, right? They select the perks, they put their shipping address, they pay the money, and it's done.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas,
like we lost a big pledge that knocked us down over the last 24 hours. So yeah.
Well, that can also happen in Indiegogo. But what
right.
on Kickstarter, what you're going to discover is at the end, you have to make all of your backers come back and put in their shipping information.
Right.
And the process called the survey.
Yes, I've backed a fair amount of Kickstarters and Indiegogos actually.
Yeah. So, there's certainly a lot of well, habitual line stepper likes paying at the end. I understand. Uh, you know, I'm okay with the paying at the end. I just wish like I didn't have to. It's always annoying. There are these people from campaigns ago that never put in their shipping information,
Yeah.
and the thing is their credit card got charged, so I have their money.
Right.
I just don't know how to get them their books.
Sure.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
know? And I send them emails and messages and stuff. They just
Yeah.
never reply.
We
So,
ran one Kickstarter as said Rock Band Americans UK, where we made a we were working on our second record, and we made a kind of a smooth jazz funk like
mhm,
versions of our own songs, and developed some of our punk rock songs as jazz songs, and
right.
released that on vinyl. So that was my one, my kind of early days for Kickstarter, probably like 2010 or so,
Oh,
which
those are early days. Yeah.
and so we made like 2,500 $3,000 to make a bunch of vinyl records, most of which are in my closet still,
There you go.
but we got it done.
When do you think issue 2 is going to be coming out?
um Next year,
Okay. Because
probably, it'll
let's
probably
go ahead and
be
look forward.
it,
I'm gonna trust the AI. I'm gonna say you are gonna hit your goal and then some. Not like huge excess, but you're gonna definitely be over the finish line. There it is. There's the money. You ship the books. People like
yeah.
it. When is issue 2?
I would say in another year. I think this is going to be an annual book,
Okay.
and that's why we're making them done in ones also, so that you at least get a full meal out of each one. Like I said, each is a story that's told 20 years apart, 30 years apart. And so you get these flash forwards into time to see where these characters have, or where those surviving ones have landed. And then we get to obviously bring a little more texture to the subsequent books with flashbacks and revelations and things like that. And so, but Jason and I are working on, and this was our side project, right? While we work on another book together.
Mhm.
And so I think it'll be the same process where we'll be knocking that out in the background in the year, launch another Kickstarter, hopefully go to Indiegogo in that time,
Fair enough.
build the audience, and keep trying to make it through Kickstarter rather than going to the direct market. Because I'd say that's what I'm used to doing is developing a book, pitching it to publishers. It either goes or doesn't, and I'm the type of person who just makes the book first rather
Right.
than making a bunch of pitches.
Mhm.
And so, my plan is, as a creator, I will probably have more crowd funds before the next issue of Killer Bad is out, because I've got some on deck that are finished that are too, I think, weird or gross or whatever for mainstream publishers, and so I'm just going to do them myself.
Fair enough. All right. So I've been doing this a while. Where I had I think more success, I noticed like a technique is if I didn't have a gap, like a year wait between
Sure.
issue 1 and 2, like people will get the book, they'll read it, and then they'll go, "Oh, this is cool. I want more," but then they can't get more.
Yeah.
And then later on, you have to get in touch with that person and go, "Hey, now's the time to get more." And they have to go,
Sure.
"Oh yeah, that book." Right. Whereas if it's like, boom, here's issue 4, and then 2 or 3 months later, here's issue, like you always, I always look at it like a baton. Like I'm going to take you from this campaign to the next campaign to the next one, and you have to take them and lead them.
So
And
I do plan on doing that as a
okay.
creator. I think is my goal here,
Hmm.
because otherwise I kind of refuse to go, hey, I've got some character designs and a script,
Hmm.
give me $7,000.
Right.
I insist on making the book first,
Sure.
and then creating as a pre-order, and then if we're having no buzz or income coming in from that, then it's just me, which I have done, and is sitting on 100 page books and figuring out how to release them. So this is an experiment for me. Like I said, I have another 104 pager that's done, that I think I am going to break up sequentially to try to build that audience each time. Or do you
Okay.
think I should just do it as a 104 page book once?
I mean, I'm a fan. Again, I like the campaign and the campaign and the campaign. I don't if you had a 104-page book, I think it's way better to break it up into
Yeah.
3 or 4,
Yeah. Right.
and then yeah,
And then
and
try to
then
get, and then try to collect it
right, yeah,
with extra pages or whatever.
right,
So that is the plan for another book. I guess we just got so excited about this one and the feedback we were getting just
awesome.
from the art that we made that we were like, we got to put it out there. And
Deconstruction of superheroes very 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 in right now.
sure, well, because the '90s are back, and that's what the '90s were doing. And
Yeah.
so, we're this spun out of Jason and I having a legitimate love for. Basically, we were sitting having a conversation about this like longer, more torturous book for us.
Mhm.
That's just taking a lot of work, and with that has publisher interest and all that. And uh, and so we just kind of like knocked this out in our way, even though it took a year to make. It was like, oh, we got really excited, then the pandemic happened, and it
Mhm.
was like, let's go. And I was able to actually make a few comics that way with who they haven't announced yet, but so I can't talk about one. But I've got another
Why not?
sci-fi horror book that'll be out in 2022 from one of the major indies that I knocked out also during lockdown. I'm in New York, and we locked down
Oh,
pretty early.
I
Everything shut
I
down.
feel
So
I feel like New York City.
yes, I'm in
Oh,
Brooklyn. We're in Brooklyn.
okay. I feel for you, bro. That's
It's been good. It's been fine. I work.
okay.
I have a job where I just work from home, and so
Okay.
no big deal for me. But so yeah. So I was able to, and with some of my artistic friends who had jobs who work in the restaurants and hotel businesses and things like that. They were the ones that didn't have to go to work, and now all of a sudden it was like, hey, we can make a book full time instead of on the
Awesome.
weekends.
There
And
you go.
so that's what I did with a few different artists, and this is one of them. This is Killer Band.
Fantastic. All right. I love it. I mean, look, for people who like indie comics, which, why else would you be on Kickstarter? You can't get any more like indie effort than you and your, pals who are out of work from COVID coming together and making a book. I think this is awesome. So,
Thank you. And
link
I
in the
think it's very
description. Yeah.
professional looking, right? Like it
Yeah.
looks
No, it looks
of
good.
its era. It looks, but also modern. I think
Hmm.
with like the digital painting of the pages. It
Hmm.
kind of looks like the side of a Capcom versus X-Men coin-op game. I think
Right.
with that like '90s, just a little manga influenced painted look. I don't know. Jason really changed up his style. He's usually a darker, grittier artist, and who does a lot of horror. So with the superhero stuff, he kind of brightened it up and changed the style. And this is going to be a big contrast. And this is a rated R book. It's
Oh,
lots.
all right. Well, okay. Tell me about that.
Well, you're going to see lots of gore and violence very quickly,
Okay.
and the swear words and that come with it. So
Fantastic.
it is. I mean, I think it's more like 15 and 16 and up. That's when I was watching those schlocky
Yeah,
movies on
absolutely.
on cable and
I
stuff.
mean,
So
look, that's what I aim for with my books. Is kind of that older teen audience.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so similarly, and that's why you got some of the focus on the boobs.
exactly.
We are participating in a genre, in a specific genre, and we are gesturing towards some of those beats and some of that imagery.
Yeah. I mean, people buy, right?
Yeah.
What can I say? I
How many books have you kickstarted? You do individual
uh
issues usually?
see yeah, I do individual issues. So on Thursday, I will launch the big campaign for the 10th, and that doesn't include the trade paperback collected. But it'll also be a combo campaign for the trade paperback. So,
Right.
10 so far.
Gotcha. Wow. What's the name of your campaign on Thursday?
Thursday is going to be Guinevere and the Divinity Factory #5.
Okay. Well, we've got to hook up on social media after this if we
Yeah,
haven't
sure.
already, and
Here,
I just haven't
here.
noticed.
Since you asked, I will show you.
Okay.
Let's see, preview. I'll take it to. Oh yeah, I haven't put together the. Here, I'll just show you. So I haven't finished editing the body of the thing, but here I can show you some. some of the files.
Sweet.
So some of the covers. What do we got? Here we go. No, not that one. This one. Sorting my files. Okay, here we go. So here is share window. So that is Kanan White's cover for Guinevere 5.
Nice.
And yeah, this is the first time I worked with him, and I like that cover. I think
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, when you get a chance, do you mind showing? We have a Kickstarter exclusive cover that is a an homage, a ripoff of
yes, we
of
definitely no boobophobes.
of the Friday the 13th cover.
Okay,
but
where would I see that?
It'll be on the Kickstarter page.
I'm on the page.
As you scroll down.
All the okay, I'm going way down. Way down. Hold on, let me go ahead and share it so you can see where I am.
Yeah, I think it's just below like the first cover, really.
Oh, okay.
It's very Friday the 13th. I mean, you'll see it's exactly Friday the 13th.
So this one.
Well, so that's the original art, which is one of our. You can purchase the ink drawing, and you can see.
I like it. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Those are our commissions. Yeah, you're at the very bottom. This is showing off the Jason's commission work, which you can buy in.
Okay.
And keep going up. It's going to be above the.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay,
see, so that's our Friday the 13th, and you can see the superheroes where the victims would be, and instead of Jason's little knife, it's a big Rob Liefeld-like knife.
Okay, there we go. I love
it. Speaking of, did you watch our 501 Jeans shot-for-shot remake?
I did not. I don't even know what you're referring to.
If you look at our Kickstarter video, which I don't know if you want to play over.
Okay.
But it's a shot-for-shot remake of the Spike Lee directed 501 Jeans commercial starring Rob Liefeld. Everything is one for one.
Well, now I guess I have to. Hold on. Let's see. I just had to make sure I'm sharing the audio. All right, I clicked on share audio, so hopefully this works.
So how long have you been drawing comic books?
Since I was about 7 years old, a little kid.
What'd your parents think about it?
Oh, they hated it. After I got a job and they saw you could make a living out of it, you hear no complaints anymore.
You created Killer Bad?
Mm-hmm.
So what is this drawing?
This is drawing of Warren.
What's this right here?
This is a fin on top of his head. It detects the wrongdoing of others.
So Jason, have you had any formal art training?
No, just a lot of imagination, I think. Wait, so I say and look down or open up and say it?
Is your fly buttoned?
Hi. And then it goes into our pitch.
I like it.
So that was a fun day in February.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I actually have seen that ad. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was at Dean Haspel's. I don't know if you know the cartoonist Dean Haspel, his studio in Red Hook, Brooklyn. We got to take over for a day.
Cool.
Good times.
See. And then, all right, here is this one's. I've already sold a few of prints of this cover at conventions, so I know that this one's going to be a seller for me. That is Misashi.
So nice.
So that's her cover for Guinevere 5, and then let's see. Oh, and then
you also went for some cleavage on a cover. Where'd you come up with that one?
I have all kinds of stuff. I have like a wall of prints, but I just noticed what sells. And so this time I because there's so many boobs, I'm like, I want a butt. So Keith Garvey put together this butt cover for me. So that's another one. And let's see. And then here's the main cover right here. Share. And there we go. So those are the covers I'm going to be offering for Guinevere 5.
Gotcha.
And that'll launch on Thursday.
Cool. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. If it doesn't break 10,000, I'm going to be very depressed.
Okay. Sorry. So if you look in that in that video we just watched, that bed music was that our smooth jazz album I was talking about.
Oh,
My
awesome.
band.
Fantastic.
So that's another thing. At any level, you get. Like I said, we were a sci-fi rock band. So if you'd continued to watch the video, you would have heard some like a rockin' tune in the background that we're talking over. And so
Right.
at every donation level, you get some Americans UK songs when we rap. And we're
Fantastic.
tying them in by, they were used in the video.
All right. Cool, man. Well, there you go. Link in the description. Go check out Killer Bad on Kickstarter.
Thank you, Preston.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you, Jeffrey.
All right.
And yeah, we should hook up sometime on
All right.
social media. Or
Yeah,
whatnot.
where are you broadcasting from?
Dallas, Texas.
You know what? So that's where I grew up. I grew up in Dallas,
You
Texas.
mentioned Plano. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so
I pay attention to these things.
my Oni book takes place in Plano, Texas. Just for the fun of it. Anyway,
Fantastic.
it was great talking to you, Preston.
All
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. Everybody.